Imagine having unlimited access to Cloud Code without paying for subscriptions, API credits, or token usage. Sounds impossible, right? In this video, I will show you how to run Cloud Code with a completely local AI model, giving you a private, high-performance coding assistant that lives entirely on your machine. No cloud dependency, no recurring costs, just powerful AI coding assistants available whenever you need it. Let's get started. For this demo, you will need three things. And honestly, they are all straightforward to install. VS Code for the code editing, LM Studio for running local models. I am using the Qwen3-Coder 30 billion parameter model. And finally, Claude Code. Claude Code provides agentic reasoning capabilities. For this demo, I am on a Mac. So this particular model is perfectly optimized for Apple Silicon. If you are on Windows or Linux, you just pick a model suited to your hardware. The process is identical. Now, open the LM Studio app and click on this model search icon. Here, you can see a library of models. Search for whatever model you want to use. Here, I am going to use the Qwen3-Coder 30 billion parameter model because it is specifically trained for coding and runs beautifully on Apple Silicon. I have already downloaded this model. Now, based on your hardware configuration, select an appropriate Qwen3-Coder model and click download. This will take a few minutes depending on your internet speed and the model size. Once the model has finished downloading, click on the developer icon. By default, you should be redirected to the local server tab. If you are not, simply select the local server tab manually. Next, click the load model button. Choose the model you downloaded earlier, okay, and then click load model to start loading it into memory. After the model is loaded, you will notice that the server status is set to stopped by default. Here you can see the status is stopped by default. Simply switch it on to start the local inference server. Once the server starts successfully, you will see a message similar to reachable at followed by a URL and port number. See, here you can see that. This is the URL and the port number is 1234. This indicates that your local LLM is now running and can be accessed from your machine. In my case, the model is available on port number 1234, which means any compatible application such as Claude Code, Light LLM, or other AI tools can communicate with this local model through that endpoint. All right, let's dive into VS Code. Now, open a new folder in VS Code. I have already opened a new folder named Local Cloud Agent in my VS Code. The first thing we need to do is to create a .cloud folder inside that. So let me create a .cloud folder inside that, and inside this folder add a file named settings.json. So here I'm saying settings.json. Okay. Now let me show you some code. Hey, no worries. I will explain what it does. These are the environment variables that control how Claude Code connects to your local LLM server instead of Anthropic's Cloud API. Now let's see what each environment variable does. Claude Code attribution header equal to 0 means it disables the distribution header that Claude Code normally sends. Claude Code disable experimental betas equal to 1 means it turns off experimental beta features that may not be supported by local providers. Anthropic-based URL. It tells Claude Code to send requests to a local server running on port 1234 instead of Anthropic servers. You remember, we hosted the local LLM in port number 1234 via LM Studio. Now, Anthropic auth token. Here I have set the value as dummy. You can set any value to this token. It is a placeholder API key. Most local OpenAI compatible servers ignore authentication, but Claude Code expects a token value to exist. For that reason, I have just simply mentioned it as dummy. And the last one, Anthropic model. The model name Claude Code will request from your local server. This must exactly match the model name exposed by your server. Now, let me open the terminal window and type Claude and click enter. It is asking Claude Code will be able to read, edit, and execute files here. Okay, so let me click yes, I trust the folder. Let me click enter. And now if I say slash model and click enter, here you can see that all these four models are the Anthropic models. And the fifth one is our own model. And here you can see that it is the custom model. This is just to prove that we are not going to use Anthropic models. Okay, so let me click enter. Okay, now let's test this. Let me give a prompt like hi and click enter. And here you can see that we got the response, hello, I am Claude, an AI assistant designed to help you with software engineering tasks. Okay, this is a simple prompt. Now let me create an application. Let me say, create a simple to-do list app using vanilla JavaScript and CSS in a single HTML file. Name the file as index.html and let me click enter. And let me close this. And now Claude is asking me whether do you want to create index.html. So okay, let me click enter. And on the left hand side here you can see that it has created a file called as index.html. Now it is ready. Now I have already installed the live server extension in VS Code. So if I click go live and let me share this, it has created a very nice looking and simple to-do list app here. See? So let me test it. Let me click here and say learn agentic AI and click add. Let me say learn Python and click add. Okay, it's working. So let me click on delete. Wow, how cool is that? Without writing a single line of code, you have a simple to-do list app. Here is why this setup is powerful. Completely free. Once you install the software, there is zero cost, ever. No surprise bills. Full privacy. Your code never leaves your computer. It doesn't go to Anthropic servers. Everything is processed locally. Always available. No rate limiting. No API quotas. You can run infinite queries. Project-specific control. With the .cloud/settings.json approach, you can have different models for different projects. Ultimate flexibility. And finally, offline development. No internet required once the model is downloaded and cached. The trade-off. Local models like Qwen3-Coder are smaller than Cloud Opus. So for extremely complex architectural decisions, you might still want to use Claude's full API. But for 90% of daily coding work, debugging, refactoring, writing functions, documentation, this is genuinely sufficient. That's it. You are now using AI-assisted coding without spending a dollar. If you find this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay tuned for the next updates. Thank you.